You know, sometimes it's like I told you so. You got the Project Veritas video that came out just a few days ago, proving what all of us already knew, that CNN is politically biased and basically ran by the frickin' DNC. Not only that, but we got a specific portion of that video that specifically says that CNN's favorite frontrunner in the Democrat Party's nomination debates and that race is Elizabeth Warren, the fake Cherokee Indian. And I was just thinking to myself, you know what? Last night, when Tulsi Gabbard began laying into Elizabeth Warren over her hypocrisy and whatnot, CNN cut her mic off. And I was just thinking, you know, that kind of confirms not only what we already knew, but it confirms the claim that Elizabeth Warren is CNN's favorite. And it's kind of funny how all these liberals like to virtue signal about non-whites and whatnot, and Elizabeth Warren was genetically proven to be more white than the majority of the United States population. And yet she's the Dems' favorite. For whatever reason. You know, because of more white supremacy, I guess. But in any case, I just wanted to make a comment on that, but I also wanted to point out the fact that Trump could be doing a lot more about the fake news than he is right now, but I don't think he wants to. And people think that I hate Trump. I really don't. I just want him to do his damn job and do what he promised to do when he got in there. Rather than halfway playing the alpha male and then the other half the time he's playing the victim. The whole reason why the news media is the way it is because Project Mockingbird is still ongoing. You've got a whole lot of people that are on the CIA payroll. A bunch of prostitutes and a bunch of whores that are just doing whatever it is with their mouths that they're paid to do. A vulgar reference, but a true one, since in principle, there's not really much difference between getting paid to give a blowjob and getting paid to lie through your teeth to the general public. And both can be done on camera for even greater wealth. And the reason why it's been allowed to get as bad as it is under the Obama administration, he signed an executive order that nullified the ban, the decades-long ban that the United States has had on propaganda. Basically, the United States had banned our government and our intelligence agencies from using the private corporate media as their own propaganda outlets. And under the Obama administration, he wrote an executive order legalizing government propaganda again. And that executive order, I'm sure Trump knows about it. He's not a stupid person. I don't think he's stupid at all. I think he's one of the smartest people on this planet. He knows about that executive order, but he hasn't done a damn thing about it because he's riding on the wave of anger that the fake news is drumming up in the people for his own popularity. And the sad part about that is that the news media says so many lies about Donald Trump and so much negative shit about him all the time that when they finally do say something true that is negative, Republicans and what I like to call magatards, they don't believe it. They'll just claim it's fake news because people are being indoctrinated to believe that anything negative said about the man must be untrue. And that's called the principle of Pavlov's dog. You ring a bell and beat a dog often enough and harshly enough that every time that dog hears a bell, it's going to scream in preparation for that beating, whether the beating ever comes or not. And the news media has done its job into beating into the brains and brows of the American people that anything and everything negatively said about Trump cannot possibly be true. So he's gotten away with a hell of a lot of gun control, and so has the GOP, but that's not being said about anything. Thousands of people are getting their weapons confiscated during the middle of the night or early in the morning through red flag laws in various states. Red flag laws that I would mention are supported by and voted for by each state's GOP. People are dying. And there is door-to-door gun confiscation, even if it is being done on the individual level and done in the name of mental health. But it doesn't matter, because Republicans have gone back to sleep. Under the Obama administration, we were ready to go to war if Clinton was elected. We even had pussies like Greg Abbott and Dan Patrick and Ken Paxton here in Texas, even sending out memorandums to Washington, D.C., to the Obama administration, reminding them that we have the right to secede from the Union if they continued on with their bullshit. And yet now that Republicans have gone back to sleep, you have those very same people that are supporting red flag laws here in Texas. They're wanting to create a registry of all Texas gun owners. You get the recent push for the assault weapons ban. And ironically enough, you had a whole bunch of mass shootings, particularly here in Texas, where Texans are most certainly hated by the establishment because of our general fuck you attitude and our pro-freedom stance that we've had for a long time. And we had a bunch of mass shootings here, and as soon as momentum began rolling, at least in Washington, D.C., and on various state levels for red flag laws and assault weapons bans and magazine capacity bans, mass shooting suddenly stopped. And I've noticed that's a repeating pattern. You'll get some mass shootings. You'll get political momentum for gun control. The mass shootings will stop. And the mass shootings will stay stopped until they need momentum for gun control again, and then all of a sudden they'll start again. Always by people who break laws to either get the guns or break laws, trespassing with weapons in areas where they shouldn't have been in the first place. And the politicians get away with passing this gun control because they know you Americans are a bunch of pussies. They know you're a bunch of fucking pussies who will never back up your claims with action. And they get away with it, and they go about doing it with impunity because you're a bunch of fucking pussies. That's my opinion. You claim that, oh, well, the Second Amendment was put in place so we can overthrow a tyrannical government, and you got a fucking tyrannical government right now with politicians threatening confiscation. And instead of marching into their homes with weapons and stringing them up by fucking trees from their own rope taken from their own workshop in front of the eyes of their own fucking families, you're treating the Second Amendment and your guns like it's some kind of magical amulet that's going to somehow protect you from a tyrannical government. No, it's there to be used should the need ever arise, and the need has arisen, and you're not wanting to use it. But anyways, that's my opinion on current events, and peace the fuck out, I guess.